Welcome everyone. Today I will be having a podcast about the importance of physiological preparation in the life of an elite athlete. My name is George Konstantinovic and I'm a sports student at the Hanze University in Groningen. And today I have a special guest with me, Chelsey Heijnen, who is a Dutch elite amateur boxer. She is a 5 times Dutch boxing champion, a gold medalist in 2017 at the European Championship, a bronze medalist in 2019 at the European Championship, and a bronze medalist in 2022 at the World Championship. Chelsey, would you like to add something more about your professional career?
Now, I didn't start as a boxer when I was young. I started as a rugby player for the national team. So I'm about 30 years in elite sports level now with rugby and boxing together. So, but you summed up my all biggest tournaments really well.
Yeah, I got informed, before the podcast. Okay, so today I'll ask Chelsey about the importance of physiological status for her boxing performance, and the main purpose of this podcast is to get as much knowledge as possible and experience from an elite athlete regarding the physiological preparation and how important this is for an athlete. So first, introducing the subject of physiology and what is its role in the life of an elite athlete. Physiology plays a critical role in providing athletes with a competitive edge, and it allows them to better understand their bodies and how to optimize it for peak performance. For example, muscular strength, endurance, and power, for example, are all related to physiology and can be improved through tailored training programs. Additionally, physiology plays an important role in helping athletes understand their body's limitations, such as maximum heart rate, oxygen uptake, and lactate threshold. So, the first question would be, Chelsey, do you use in your training physiological preparation?
Yeah, I think all athletes, you need to have physical, warm up and everything. But the strength, your strength all over your body is really important to get, not only for boxing, a big upper body, but it's all the tactics, balance, core stability, and everything that's what makes a pro athlete good in his sport, but makes an athlete an athlete. I can be really good in boxing and do everything on power, but when you get to the top level, you need all the aspects, like conditional, heart rate, what you already said, but balance and movement and flexibility and agility and everything like that. You really need it because you will get to the sub high level, but to get to the world stage, you have to be all round, and that means even your feet and your head and your neck needs to be trained.
Yeah,
of course. It's really, really important to get everything in balance as well.
Okay. Then I guess I'll ask you, how do you prepare for each of these aspects? For example, how do you prepare from an endurance point of view?
In the point of view is difficult because I don't really train I don't go run for 10 kilometers because we do the basic. We already got the basic conditional endurance, so we only do it boxing technically, in the gym. When we are boxing, that's when Andre say, let's do 3 times 3 minutes on the back, for example. That's how we train endurance. So I'm not training my endurance anymore. In the start, you train endurance by running 5K or running 10K. But if that's okay, then you start training your endurance specifically in boxing or for boxing. So that means 3 times 3 minutes, because that's what we need with 1 minute rest. And that you can do all the boxing back, but we can do it sprinting as well or running. 3 minutes, 1 minute rest, 3 minutes. So that's the easiest thing to stay good in your endurance, but the balance and everything, that's what makes it difficult. Getting your endurance okay, but don't lose your boxing skills. Do you know what I mean? You have to train all the aspects.
You must make a balance between all these aspects and find a way to the middle.
Yeah, because you can't say I'm only going for the endurance this period, because then your boxing gets worse.
Yeah, I understand. And do you have any specific exercises, for example, to train anaerobically for the aerobic part?
Mostly Andre or like my trainer is for that kind of stuff because I just do what he said or says what I have to do.
Okay.
But mostly what we do is like when we get to close to a tournament, we lose the 3 minutes and go lower and lower in the time. So go to 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds. Just speed, stop, speed. Like 30 seconds work, 10 seconds rest, or 20 seconds and 10. And then just before the tournament, we go back to the longer times, like 1-2 minutes. So, and that goes like up and down all the time. But if I'm honest, that's like what I leave at my trainer's desk, and he makes sure that I'm like conditional, like in best shape to go to a tournament.
Okay. Then, for the strength aspect, how do you prepare?
I do strength like 3 times a week. And I train we train in a circuit, so we do like upper body, shoulders, back, legs, like everything for 30 seconds. 10 seconds rest. And that we do like for a period of 8 weeks. I train the same schedule twice a week. And after the 8 weeks, I get a new schedule, like maybe not in 30 seconds, 10 seconds, but in like the weights, like 12, how do you say, 12 repetitions, 12 repetitions. So then we train like a different aspect of strength. So we go for the big muscles. But because our tournament period is so long this year, we've got like 3-4 big tournaments. We will stay longer in the 30 seconds, 10-second rest for strength and leave the big muscle training like for in the summer, for example, when everything is like rest. Then we go and get the strength up again, because this year is just so busy that we don't have the time to get the strength up, get more mass, and get your weight down, because that's the other part of boxing, of course. You have to keep your weight down, otherwise you'll be too heavy for your weight class.
Okay.
So I can get like big muscles and everything, because I want to be strong, but then I won't make the 60 kilos anymore.
Yeah. So you have to take care of of all aspects. And how much would you recommend, for example, for an amateur boxer who is about to start training to focus on the strength training in the beginning?
At least twice a week, I would say, because I think strength is maybe as important as boxing is, because without the strength and without the coordination of your body, because that's what you train in the strength training, you won't be able to box like really well. You have to learn to understand your body, like train all the small muscles, because you need them to be active in boxing. So I would say at least twice a week, and don't underestimate the power of a strength training.
It's also I know that it's also helping you develop all the cartilages and all the tendons into your body, so that you don't actually get into a fight, and then make like an overstretching one of the muscles. So if you are well prepared from a strength point of view, then you can also perform a lot of complex punches, for example, in both.
Exactly. You need a little bit of like it's not pressure, but you need a little bit of tension on the muscles. So it's like I can have some muscle pain and everything, and then Andre, I would say, just leave it. I won't massage it, or don't go to the physical therapist. Just leave it in there, because you need it. You need the
to feel
how do you say it? You need some tension in there. Because otherwise you're gonna tear up some muscles and damage. You're gonna do some damage to yourself.
Then, from the speed perspective, how do you train?
Like to get more speed in my punches, we train with elastic bands. And we do like 6 times 10 seconds with a real strong elastic band, and we will just punch like only the direct punches, no hooks, no uppercuts, because hooks and uppercuts, you don't need that much speed in there. The direct punches, left, right, that's what is important. And we train that like with like 8 seconds of 8 times 10 seconds, and then all in, 20 seconds rest. But we also do it in the strength training. When we got like a dumbbell of 10 kilos, we will push it really quick out and get it back slow. So that's 2 different ways to train strength.
Yeah.
Then we do it 12 times, and then we
Yeah.
go down with repetitions and up with the weight. Like we go from 10 kilos in 12 repetitions to 12 kilo and 10 repetitions and go down.
Yeah.
So you can train speed, like not only you have to punch fast, but you have to get your muscles in there as well.
Yeah.
So your muscles have to get used to the speed. It's the same like running downhill for running. They run downhill because they get used to the speed, and then they accelerate it later on. They adapt to the speed going down on a straight path as well.
So that's how you actually...
That's the same what we do.
That's how you actually also train for your explosivity.
Yeah. It's like together, I would almost say.
Yeah.
Because in boxing, explosivity and speed almost is the same. Like, because a punch is quick when it has an explosive start.
Yeah. So that's important. Yeah, combining speed and explosivity.
Yeah.
Okay. For the flexibility perspective, how do you train for that?
If I'm honest, I don't really train for flexibility. I do like a cooling down, and I will stretch. In my case, I would stretch my shoulders, my back, and my neck really well.
Yeah.
But if I'm really, really honest, I never do it after a fight, just because. But that's the bad side. That's just how it is. But that's not how it's supposed to be. Like, you should stretch after a fight, or you should stretch after every gym session or after every box session. But it's like, doesn't feel important, and that's why it's underestimated.
Yeah.
Because if you stretch, your muscle pain will be less in the afternoon or in the evening or in the next day. So I should do it more.
And how do you train for agility?
Agility. I've got some, I don't know if you know the blade spots, like the reaction lights and everything.
Yeah, I know.
So I use them now to lose my weight, but also to get like my reaction time up. But I do it in a triangle.
Yeah.
So that's how I train agility now.
Yeah.
But what I say at this moment in this year, agility is just trained like how we do it in the boxing class, with the steps and with the movements, but not specifically alone agility.
Okay.
That's something we do in the summer or off season.
Yeah. So at the moment you train more specifically during the boxing classes on the pads and the...
Yeah.
Okay.
On the pads and everything.
And how do you train your balance? Do you do anything specifically for
what
that?
we did? Yeah, with Aleko or with all the small kids now, we start training balance like at the start, as they start boxing with us. And for example, we've got like, I don't know what's called in English exactly, but we got like a tall, and it's like flat on the upper side, and on the downside it's like round, so it moves.
Yeah, I know.
And then we stand on there with 2 feet, so we've got 2, and then we start punching, and we jump off, and we jump on, and then you train your boxing stance.
Yeah.
You train your balance. You train your reaction, because you jump on an disbalance, so you have to be active in your reaction to stay like in balance. Don't fall off. And I think you should be in balance when you have to stand on your feet, like on the front of your feet. And if you're in, that's how we train balance now with our training. Go step left and right, move forward, go twice to the front, go back, go left, right. For example, Bjarne is a boxer of us. He falls in his punches, and that's because he doesn't got any balance or not enough balance. But balance is combined with core stability.
Yeah.
If you have a strong core, your balance will be better. And if you have a weak core, your balance will be...
Yeah. Do you train specifically also for the core strength, or how do you combine balance?
In every strength training, we start a block with core stability, only core stability. And that can be like thousands of exercises, because I don't use the same exercise every training, because you have to adapt a little bit
Yeah.
Otherwise, it won't improve. If you stay training the same way, nothing will improve.
Yeah, you must make.
You have to give your body new, like, how do you say it? An impulse to get a different reaction.
Yeah, so that you can perfect your body from any perspective. Because if you do it the same every day, then, for example, also in a boxing bout, it's not all the time the same. So you have to adapt. Adapting the training is also adapting to the fight.
Yeah.
And for coordination,
coordination again, the blade spots I bought.
Yeah.
Coordination is something what I trained with rugby already a lot. Coordination and balance and everything. You have to start training that when you're young. Like if you're 25, 26, I don't say you can't train coordination, but
Yeah.
you have to have a basic set of coordination and balance and that kind of skill. And then you can implement it in your training. So
Yeah.
if you look at our training, the training doesn't train coordination like specifically.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's in there somewhere. We train coordination because you have to move your feet, you have to move your hands, you have to watch what your opponent is doing and react to that. So boxing is in a way really difficult because you have a lot of aspects in one thing. So if you have to block a punch or something, there's like reaction time, coordination. When my hand is there, it has to be on time, and you have to have your muscle tension.
Yeah.
It's not like, and you have to watch what your opponent is doing if he goes left, right.
Finally, how do you prepare from a nutritional point of view? Nutritional point of view, do you have like a big nutrition before and after a fight?
Yeah. Like now when I box 60, I leave like not all my how do you say it? The pasta and everything, the carbs.
Yeah.
I leave them and I bring them a little bit down, but you can't box without carbs. Let's say that in front.
Yeah.
You need carbs to box. So I get like my carbs in the morning, and if I don't have to fight, like now on a tournament in the afternoon, I won't eat carbs. Like I will eat the salad with some meat, fish, chicken, or anything. But on the day I fight, I will eat carbs because I need the carbs. I need the sugar for the explosions.
Energy. Yeah.
And yes, and boxing is a weight class sport. So in the morning you weigh in, and then the weighing is done in my head. Like I'm like, okay, if I'm too heavy tonight, that's a problem for tonight. But first I have to fight.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna eat my breakfast like always, oats and everything. Then I will get a snack in between, fruit or that protein. And in the afternoon, with my lunch, I will go eat like pasta, meat, chicken, but enough. Not like a full board, but enough. You start knowing yourself what you need. But then we go to the fight, and before my fight, like 1 hour, I start eating again. I start to eat a banana. I start to eat like the dark chocolate, and I start to eat dextro. That's like a small sugar tablet for quick sugars. And I eat that like 5-6 minutes before I enter the ring. And then I go like up, because when I'm here, I don't eat sugar. Never, or almost never. And when you eat sugar before the fight, you're like, oh, I've got energy. It's like you never drink coffee and you will drink coffee. It's like the same with caffeine. You go up.
Yeah.
And then after that, so I got my sugar rush, then I fight. And after that, it's like, okay, what's my weight? I have to lose weight. And maybe I don't eat dinner because I have to box the next day as well.
Yeah.
What's in box, what I think is really important, especially when you box a tournament, is if the weigh-in is done, your own weight, forget your weight like a little bit.
Yeah.
Stay eating healthy. Don't go eat chips and fries and everything, but don't be busy with your weight before your fight.
Yeah.
If the weigh-in is done, then you have to get your energy in. And then your weight is a problem after the fight. And then you have to lose weight, or you have to put on your sauna suit or anything.
Yeah.
That's a problem for after the fight, because if you eat too less before your fight, your energy will be low and you will lose your fight, and then you've done it for nothing.
Yeah.
And if I eat every day, I still got low energy and I lose my fight, I know, okay, there must be something else going wrong, but it's not my food. If I eat everything, I win my fight and I'm too heavy, okay, that's gonna hurt, but I will lose my weight. I will be on weight tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's really important. If your weigh-in is done, then your weigh-in is done. Don't be busy with what your weight will be tonight, because
Yeah.
that doesn't matter. Because if you lose, you don't have to train afterwards.
Yeah.
And if you lose because you didn't have enough energy, that's a bummer, because
it's
you
pointless.
lost. Yeah.
Then is 60 kilograms your natural weight?
No, not at all.
Now how much?
Actually, I'm 63.
Yeah.
And I think my natural weight, and then we all said, but then I can eat everything. No, we can't eat everything. But then it's like, I watch what I eat, but not as extreme as now. Now it's extreme for the 60. I think my natural weight is like 65, sorry. 65. And now, because I booked 60, my natural weight is going down, of course. So I think 63, 64 will be what I weigh when I'm on holiday or something. But don't forget, I already started in November to get down to 60 now.
Oh, yeah, so it's taking a lot.
November, December, January. So 3 months. So if you got to think that way, it's like 2 kilos a month. What's 2 kilos a month?
Yeah.
And now I have to do like 500 grams still for tonight to be on weight tomorrow morning. That's just, I woke up with 300 grams over. That's no problem. And if you stay under 1.5 kilos that you have to lose in the evening, then you will be fine. If you go above the 1.5 kilos to lose every day before a fight, you're gonna feel it in your body.
Okay. But
it's an extra training to lose weight again, and it's a waste of valuable energy.
Yeah. And do you do anything? How do you train specifically to lose weight? Mostly cardio, right?
Yeah, but I don't do like, if I'm lazy, I will do like 1.5 hours of like the cross trainer.
Yeah.
But what we do now is like 15 minutes cross trainer, and then what I said, the blade swap, the reaction lamps, I will put them in a triangle of 2 meters wide, like out, and then I will do it 3 times 3 minutes with 1 minute rest. So that's another 15 minutes, and I will repeat that if I'm really heavy for 3 times. So then I'm training for 1.5 hours.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's a
You have to mix up your cardio, because if you stay on the treadmill, if you stay on the cross trainer, you will lose the weight, but you won't burn as much energy.
Okay.
Like you put your sauna suit on, and of course, if you move 1.5 hours, you would lose like that much liquid.
Yeah.
But it's not only the liquid you want to lose; you want to burn
the fats.
Yeah, the fats, but you also want to burn the food you have eaten the whole day.
Yeah.
So I try to burn as much calories as well, and lose a little bit of like liquid sweat and everything.
Okay. So the next question is, from your point of view, what is the best way to warm up prior to physical activity?
It's one thing. What's really important is get your head ready for a training.
Yeah.
Because if you're not there with your head, then there will happen something in the training. You have to be like warmed up and getting your mind get prepared to train.
Yeah.
Train and fight. Doesn't matter really what. And that's the first step before you start your warm up.
Mm-hmm.
It can be like talking with somebody else, or just walking up and down in the hall.
Yeah.
But get your mind at the same, how do you say it? In the same vibe, like what you have to what you're about to start.
Yeah.
And then you just do like an general warm up. So walk up and down, warm up every muscle, your neck, your shoulders, your hips, your knees, your everything, and then go to a specific warm up, like boxing specifically. So walk up and down with punches, or move your upper body from left to right, and a little bit of shadow boxing, but not like high intensity. Like max heart rate of 130, like build it up.
Gradually building up the intensity.
And you can do a warm up with boxing gloves on as well. But again, then you build it up slowly but surely.
Yeah.
And that's difficult for a lot of boxers.
Yeah, because they start.
They just want to go and punch really hard.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, my muscles. Yeah, of course, because you didn't build it up. You just started. Like, a sprint. You were joof, and you sprinted away, and you didn't even do a warm up.
Yeah,
Like, but
that's another advice for beginners, because this podcast is about giving actually beginners in the sports of boxing as much advice as possible about what things to do and what other things not to do. And I think if I had all this knowledge that I have now 4-5 years ago, I wouldn't have gone through like a lot of injuries with my muscles. So I think it's actually really helpful to do this podcast and let beginners and amateur boxers about all these things, because there are some things that you can see, but other things that must be taught verbally, because you cannot actually see it physically.
Because it's logical for the boys. Like you come in our group, and for us it's logical to build it up slow. But if you're new and you come in, you're like, why are they doing this slow?
Yeah.
Then you have to do it verbally and say, listen, we have our gloves on, but this is just a warm up. Like, this is because we're too lazy to walk up and down the hall. We just put our gloves on because we like it that way, and then we build it up. But I think what you say, this is for beginners. And the other thing is, don't be afraid to make a mistake, but don't be afraid to ask things. Like, we are all there because we love the sport. And I think nobody is left out in boxing. Like, everybody is welcome, and you don't have to be tall, you don't have to be strong, you can be thick, thin, long, short, like a girl, a boy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, but ask things. Don't be afraid to ask things. But also when things go wrong, don't throw in the towel. Just keep on trying, because you're gonna make mistakes with left and right in the start. We're all like, we all know what left is, and we all know what right is. But when it goes quick, you have to push left, right, left. Even adults make mistakes, and then this is fucking difficult, because I have to do left, right, and I don't know left and right anymore. But then I said, but for adults, it's the same. They make the same mistakes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, mistakes, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
And then it's really easy, because it's left and right. You think left, right, how can I make this mistake? Because you're thinking about which punch you have to do, a hook, direct, or uppercut. You think about left or right. You think, I have to move my feet.
Yeah.
And I have to adapt to my opponent. Like, is he close? Is the long distance? Is the short punch, long punch? So I always say to beginners, don't stop after like 3. If you try 3 trainings, keep on training. Like, give it some time. In the start, it's not that nice, because you have to learn so many things so quick before it starts being fun. Do you know what it's like? It's not that fun. If you come in, it's like, I didn't know boxing was that difficult. My feet don't stand right. I don't feel strong, and I've got muscles, but my power isn't there. And that's all because your body has to adapt to, and has to, how do you say it?
To the
movements.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because, for example, in rugby, as you said that you played before, there are some certain movements, and then when you start boxing, there are other movements. So it's taking a bit of time until your body gets used with the new movements. Because for every sport, for example, me in soccer, I was training a lot on the feet, but not that much on the upper body. So of course, when I came, it was pretty difficult for me. I was used, with like some like push-ups and fitness but not with like actually punching, So it's taking a lot of time, to get used with like performing the hooks, the uppercuts from different angles, because I've never done it. So yeah, it's probably taking about 6-7 months, actually 1 year, to actually get used with at least the basics. How does your fatigue affect your performance during a boxing match?
I'm by physique.
Your fatigue, like when you get tired.
Then you're fucked. I've said it really hard now. That then, like, yesterday a boxer of us boxed a fight.
Yeah.
And he didn't have the energy. If you box, you have to have energy for 3 times 3 minutes.
Yeah.
If you don't have the energy and don't have the condition and everything, then you're already lost.
Yeah.
But you must be ready to fight for your life 3 times 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And like in soccer or in rugby, you can put the gas a little bit down. You can gear down.
Yeah.
Boxing, it's
So
like not a gearbox. It's like an automatic pilot.
yeah.
You start and don't finish till the ring goes. Then you've got 1 minute to get recovered and go again to full speed. It's like an electric car.
Yeah.
In comparison with like a gearbox. And if your energy goes down, sometimes your corner can save you and say, oh, we're gonna box a little bit a different tactic. But at the level we're boxing, no, you can't, because the other one does have a condition and does have a great endurance and maybe has a bigger heart. Like,
yeah. Has it ever happened to you to actually feel really tired, and how did you approach that situation?
One time it happened at the national championships. I had like you've got an illness. It's called fever in Dutch, and it's like you're tired constantly.
Yeah.
And I was like almost at the end of the recovery, but normally I don't have nerves before my fight. I have like how do you say, building like how do you say it? You've got nerves and you've got tension. Like, how do you say it? I want to fight.
You're nervous. You're nervous.
Yeah, not really nervous, like in shake, but getting ready. Like, I want to fight. But I had nerves, really bad nerves. It was my first elite championships, Dutch championships, and I couldn't eat. So I went in the ring.
Yeah.
And first round was okay. But at the end of round 1, I got like, we call it a hongerklop. So that's when you don't have any energy left just because you didn't eat enough.
Yeah.
And that's the moment where you start surviving.
Yeah.
And then everybody can shout at you, but the only thing you're doing is surviving.
Yeah.
Like, Andre had to shout me through the ring. Like, I had to get the energy out of his shout because I couldn't move. I was like, done. You can you imagine that you didn't eat and then you have to enter the ring.
Yeah.
So I experienced it once, and that's why now I eat like a banana, a piece of dark chocolate, and dextro, the sugar tablet, before my fight. To don't get like the hongerklop. I really don't know what's the translation in English, but to be prepared to get enough energy for the fight of 15 minutes. And if I'm dead after 15 minutes or say 16 minutes, because you have to walk out of the ring confident as well, because that's a part of the scoring as well.
Yeah.
And if I'm tired, then that's a problem for after. But in boxing, you have to have great endurance. If you don't have it, don't start it.
How does your body react to longer periods of physical inactivity? For example, inactivity. For example, when you go in the summer for vacation, and you come back to the training, how do you prepare? How long does it take you to get back in shape?
First of all, going on holiday is mentally really tough because you're so used to, my days are always the same: training, working, sleeping, eating, training, sleeping. So to not train, it's not only difficult for your body, but it's difficult for your head as well. Maybe more difficult for your head, because you're like, what am I going to do with my time? So if I have like a period off, I have to go on holiday. But don't go on holiday, I won't stop boxing. I will keep on boxing. And I'm really lucky with my body, because my body, I've had like injuries, like my shoulder, but that aside, I can train for a really long period of time without getting it like too much of training. Do you know what I mean? Like, a body can stand. And when you're used to training all the time, I have talking now about 2 weeks of holiday, not more, like 2 weeks of holiday. They will do your body like really good, and you will recover mentally, physically, and you will be like, I want to box again when I come back. And 2 weeks of not boxing doesn't have any influence on your condition or on your boxing skills. But in our head, we think 2 weeks of not boxing, that's going to be difficult coming back and all my condition. But if you just stay holiday, and I'm not talking about partying, drinking alcohol and everything that side, I'm just going on holiday to Turkey, for example, and laying on a stretcher for 2 weeks. If you come back, you might feel it a little bit in your condition, but because you already trained that high and your condition is here, you will get back really quick. So you won't really feel it. But that's for the pro athletes.
For the pro,
Like, for the starters, you will probably feel it, and then you will get a little bit of muscle pain the first week.
But you're used with it anyway because of.
But 2 weeks of holiday, George, it won't.
It's not.
It won't have an influence now.
Okay.
6 months is something different.
Have you ever experienced it? 6 months or because of an.
When I have an injury, like with my shoulder, for example.
Yeah.
I was lucky I could start training the rest of my body real quick, and I had to train my shoulder real quick. But when you have an injury, you come back like step by step by step by step.
Yeah.
And you come back in boxing step by step by step.
Yeah.
So you don't really feel it because you just grow into it.
Yeah.
It's not like I was here and I just started boxing here. No, you do every step of the way you go up. So you go slowly but surely and don't feel it. But if you just came back from 6 months of recovery and didn't box in between, then you're gonna feel it. And then you've got like muscle pain on places where like that's really boxing muscle pain. Like for example, this part of your elbow. You can train as much as you want, but if you didn't box for a long period of time or you didn't did a fight and you go into a fight, this is gonna hurt. Like that's just because the stretching of the arms is different in a fight than in a training.
Yeah. Have you experienced any overtraining situations?
Yes, when I played rugby, that was just, I think, 6 months before I stopped. And I had like all small pains, like then my finger hurts, then like my head hurts, then my like just small pains, like not pain, but just annoying pains. Like, but what was the most, how do you say it? How I know I had like overtraining or something was in my head because I didn't go to the training anymore. That was not because I didn't like rugby anymore, but I didn't want to go to strength training. It was all like, do I have strength? Yeah, you have. Because in my head, I'm still an athlete. I'm a pro athlete. So I'm never going to skip a training. Even if I don't want to train, I won't skip a training.
Yeah.
I will go and train and I won't show it. And I've learned that sometimes it's good to listen to your body and put the person in your head who's like, you're a pro athlete, like you have to train every day. It's better because otherwise you won't. Your competition is training. You have to train. Sometimes when like now they have to box 2 guys today, and I'm like, sorry, I'm not gonna watch the fights because I know I need my rest, and that can be like laying in my bed, but it can also be like just walking around. But you have to learn to listen to your body. Yeah, and that's really difficult, especially when you started a new sport. Yeah. Because you're like, oh, I want to learn and I want to train and I want this and that. But your body doesn't say things for nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Your knee won't suddenly hurt because it didn't do anything. No, it's just a sign of your body to say, put your feet on the brake and skip this training. Or say to Andre, to our coach, say, Andre, I'm not feeling that great today. And then you would probably say, we make it a fun training, because then in your head you've got your movement. Yeah. In my case, that's for my weight. I need that. So okay, I moved. So I burned my calories, but it also makes the training lighter. Yeah. So it won't be that high intensity. But that's what I say again. You have to communicate as a boxer with your coach. Even if you're a starter and you know, oh, I'm training in this class with like these boxers, still you'll matter. Yeah. Step up to the trainer and say, if you train once a week, don't do it, because the boxing trainer will say, who are you? Like, but if you train constantly, like in your case, you come constantly. And if you're like, tell somebody. Yeah, because you will break yourself down and then you will lose the love for the sport and then you will quit. And that's what we see in boxing a lot. It's all or nothing almost. Yeah. There's nothing in between. Yeah, you must communicate with the trainer so that he know, because the trainer will never know exactly what is happening in your body. So you have to feel it for yourself and then communicate it so that he knows how to adjust the training to you, to your needs, especially as a pro athlete. For example, with the other ones in the gym who are not at your level,
I think it's actually better to actually get used with all the intensities, and the overtraining, to be honest, But with you, since you're a pro athlete, I think he should make it as specific as possible for your needs. When would you advise a beginner in the sport of boxing to introduce physiological preparation into his training routine?
Almost straight away, maybe before, like, it's just the basic of your body, like you need it. If you don't have a basic, like we've got strength, coordination, endurance, how do you say it, lenigheid, stretching and everything, and strength. There are 5 groups in a strength training, or in your what you have to train to have a basic level of a good body. I don't know how to say it, but and if those 5 basic skills aren't trained properly, then you will get an injury in which sport. It doesn't matter. You have to have a basic condition, and that's like strength and everything, but also endurance. And there are 5. I can't get them all in English, but there are 5. So I won't say just come box. I would say if you want to go the high level, if you want just to do 3, 4 fights, you have to make your mind up. Like, but if you're like, I start boxing because I want to get to the highest possible level, I would say first go and watch if you like boxing. First of all, of course, do it 3 months, 4 months, and then. But when you're like, yes, I want to do fights, go interpret strength training quick. Because it's not only strength training, it's building your body. For which kind of sports.
And
because it doesn't matter.
For a kid who is like 7 years old,
it's even more important to do the 5. To start with those 5 condition things.
Okay, because I know for some trainers, I remember they were saying that first, when he's at that age, first he should train with his technique, speed, and coordination, and then actually start with the stamina, with the flexibility training, with the how do you call it, with the strength training. How do you think that is?
But that then you get the part where I did my educational sports and coaching. So with a kid who's 7 or 8 or 9, you have to train him like all around. So, and that's how you build a great athlete. I'm talking about an athlete. I'm not talking about a boxer. I'm not talking about a soccer player. I'm not talking about a baseball player. Those 5 things are so important in building a great athlete, because it starts on a young age. It's the same that I think every athlete should be in a team sport, because then you learn to adapt to different persons, but that's a different thing. But those 5 things make sure you can adapt to other sports. You can adapt to changes really quick. So stand southpaw, stand those. And how often does a kid of 7 years stay in boxing? Because we're talking about boxing. Not that much. Oh, in England, like in America and Ireland, because there the sport is big. But most kids played soccer before and then start boxing, or soccer is a big sport and thing. So the 5 building stones, I will call them, for condition are so important to get your body ready to be an athlete. And that's what's underestimated. Like they have to have balance when they're 7. They have to be trained in balance, and you don't have to go in the strength like in the big gym or anything. And you don't have to pull weight. And I'm not talking about push-ups and everything, but I'm especially talking about balance, reaction, stretching. And learn to, how do you say it? Coordinate all the muscles. Kids nowadays are like, I only want to box because I want to be a boxer, so why would I do strength? So I only got to box. No. You won't be a pro athlete if you. But that's when a kid is 7, it's not the kid who should say that. It's the trainer who should implement it in the training. Like, make it a game, what you said. Make it a game. Throw tennis balls left, right, left. Make them catch them. And hand-eye coordination, everything. So also you have to stand on one 1 feet and have to make a small knee bend. No, they won't do it. But stand on one knee and catch and throw the tennis ball. They're like, well, I'm better as you because I've got 10 and you've got 5.
Yeah, for the little kids, it's very important to make it as fun as
but
possible.
For the big ones as well.
Oh, yeah, also for the big ones, yeah.
Fun, everything. I couldn't do this sport without the fun I had. And that's why I train at Lake because it makes it fun. I've got a trainer who's always there. I've got a group of people. Now we had a little bit of switch in the boxing group, but make it fun. Don't make it that serious because this tournament is serious enough. Like you have to make some jokes and training all the time on a straight path.
Yeah.
Will be boring and you will stop boxing. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? For example, he said, go spar with George. Okay. Yeah. Then I tried this and this.
Yeah.
So I think the trainer in this case is really important to keep the athletes happy and fun in the training because when they at top level, then they have to be serious.
Yeah.
And then there is less time for fun. But till that time, make it fun and keep them. Make sure that you get them like in your heart and that they don't want to stop, that they're like, well, boxing is fun. And boxing isn't watching your food and getting punched. No, boxing is fun.
Yeah. It's also when you have fun, you're also more creative and you try new things. Like, for example...
And then it's right what you said. That's exactly what I mean. That's
when
important.
you seriously, then you are very stiff into your movement and also you are thinking too much. And for example, when you think too much, then you don't try new things. Or when you are relaxed, then and you don't think about I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to follow this game plan, then you are more you don't go into a straight line. You go more like this.
Get creative.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what you need. Yeah.
Fun is very important also, especially for the kids, but also for the young adults to perform good in boxing. Well, I guess this was the podcast for today. And thank you very much, Chelsey, for the time that you offered me. And I wanted to wish you good luck on the tournament in Bulgaria.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much, Chelsey, and I will see you next week then.